Hey, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to another Albion Online video. In this video, I want to go over overcharging your gear. How do you overcharge your gear? What does overcharging your gear mean? When you should use it? Why you should use it? And yeah, so as you can see currently, I have my gear overcharged. You can see because my claws are glowing red and there's like lightning effects all over me. And if I open my inventory, my gear is overcharged. You can tell because there's like a little effect around your little set of armor here. And okay, so what does overcharging your gear means? The first thing you need is you need something called Siphoned Energy. This is the little item that you use to overcharge your gear. How do you get Siphoned Energy? The basic way, the way you're probably gonna get Siphoned Energy is by the marketplace. There are people selling Siphoned Energy in the marketplace. It costs around 6,000 to 7,000 silver as of me making this video. In Carolion was about 6,300, and you can just buy some Siphoned Energy there. The second way you can get Siphoned Energy is by doing any kind of GVG activity. That includes mage raiding and castle running, whatever. Anything that involves a GVG activity, you will get some Siphoned Energy for some of the drops for doing those activities. And then those people go off and then they sell those Siphoned Energies to the marketplace, so people like you and me can buy some Siphoned Energies to overcharge your gear. So what is overcharging your gear? Every gear has something called an item power. Item power is like the power of the item, the damage and everything. So for example, if I check my bear claws, you can check your item power here. Mine's 812, but before I overcharged my gear, the item power was 712. So overcharging your gear, it will increase your gear item power by 100 item power, by 100 IP. So for example, my mage cowl, it was 725, and then I overcharged my gear and now it's 825. And such forward for my assassin jacket and my soldier boots. Stuff that doesn't get overcharged are your bags, your food, your mounts, and your cape. They do not get overcharged, but any kind of actual armor piece, so like your helmet, your chest piece, your boots, your weapon, and then if you have an offhand weapon, that will get overcharged as well. All of those will increase your item power in general by 100 IP or 100 item power. This lasts for a total of 30 minutes. So right now I've used this 5 minutes ago, so I only have 25 minutes left, but all of my items will be done with the overcharge after 30 minutes of overcharging my gear. Now what happens once that timer runs out? Because of course this is not something that you do without risking something. And the risk of overcharging your gear is that once the timer's done, once your little stats are over, once 30 minutes have gone past, there is a 15% chance on any of your overcharged gear that it will be trashed. So once this 25 minutes are over, or 30, depends when you overcharge your gear, all of your gear, for example, my bear claws or my assassin jacket or my cowl, they all have a 15% chance that it will be trashed. That means I will no longer have it and it's just trashed. So that is the risk of overcharging your gear. Yes, you get 100 extra item power for all of your armor pieces, but you do have that 15% chance that item will be trashed and you no longer will be able to use it, and you have to just destroy it and just throw away your trash. There's no way to turn trash back into the item. Trash is trash, and you will no longer be able to have that armor piece. Another way you can actually get rid of your overcharge is by just dragging your items back into your inventory. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to drag my items, and you'll see that removing this item blah, 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 might have a chance of breaking. Yes. Okay, so we're good with my soldier boots. It did not get trashed. Let's go with my assassin jacket. It did not get trashed. My cowl, it did not get trashed. And hopefully my bear claws or my claws. Okay, so nothing got overcharged, or nothing got trashed. All of my overcharged gear did not get trashed. So I was lucky that time. So let's go ahead and put my dual swords. I'll just put some abilities and put all of my stuff back. So let's overcharge it. To overcharge it, again, you need some Siphoned Energy in your inventory. You can't put it like in your food pot slot or your poison slot. You just have it in your inventory, and you'll see that over here you have the overcharge ability. To do the overcharge, you can either click on this and you can begin, this will pop out saying, hey, you're about to overcharge, or you can do Shift O and you'll have the same little pop-up here. So I'm gonna do yes. So my dual swords are overcharged. Again, all of this loot, all of my armor pieces is charged. And now I have more item power. I can do a little bit more damage. And yeah, so I'm actually gonna, again, try doing this. So that did not get overcharged, but you can see that durability is going down by a whole lot. That didn't get trashed. That didn't get, oh, what was that? My mage cowl got trashed. So there you go, you got something got trashed. Hopefully my dual swords do not get trashed. They did not. So if they don't get trashed, the durability will go down by a whole lot. So my durability is, my assassin jacket, it's about 40. So it looks like you lose 20% the durability anytime you remove something that's overcharged. So when you should use the overcharging gear. Overcharging your gear is mainly used for hellgates, and some people might use it for yanking. Anytime, you really have to figure out, basically, you have to figure out when this should be a good use. When you should sacrifice your items potentially being destroyed for that extra item power. So things like hellgates, 2v2s or 5v5 hellgates, people use it. People overcharge the gear because they get that extra item power. Any kind of, you know, hellgates are like PvP kind of action, and they need to overcharge the gear because it's either your opponents live or you live, and risking your life, not having your armor charged, it can potentially ruin your hellgates, and you know, you potentially could die with all your loot. So instead of dying with all your loot, they just overcharge the gear, have that extra item power, and okay, if they get out, something might trash, whatever, but at least they didn't die, or they were able to compete with their enemies. Other things are like ganking. Some gankers might have some Siphoned Energy to get that extra item power, so they can easily destroy you faster. And that's pretty much it. Sometimes they use it for something like GVGs or something like that, but you really have to figure out when or where you should use this yourself. If you're doing some kind of activity, again, Albion Online is a sandbox MMO, so you really do have to figure out when this is a viable solution to increasing your item power. Instead of actually buying higher tier items, then, for example, I could have just simply bought a tier 5 assassin jacket, and that would have improved my item power. But instead of spending that extra couple 100,000 silver, I could have just as easily bought a Siphoned Energy, and with that, I would have increased my item power by 100 on all of my things, which only cost me about 5,000 silver. So I'm actually going to show you what you can else use with Siphoned Energy. If you go to this lady here in Caerleon, it's right here, it's called the Energy Manipulator. You can click on her, and you can see that there's actual uses for this Siphoned Energy, especially for kind of any guilds. You can actually craft something like the Siege Ballista, the Flame Basilisk. I can't really, Basilisk. I'm gonna say the Basilisk. We got the Venom Basilisk, and then you got the Command Mammoth. So you actually have to have Siphoned Energy to craft these special battle mounts. These mounts are used by any kind of you know, guild battles, GVGs, well, not really GVGs, but you know, Zerg versus Zergs, where there's a huge group of people. Guilds will purchase these kind of mounts, and you know, they'll go out and, you know, attack whatever they're doing. But to craft these mounts, again, you need like a couple thousand Siphoned Energies. So for example, for the Flame Basilisk, I can't really say it, you need 5,000 Siphoned Energy. For something like the Command Mammoth, you need 10,000 energy. And again, these go for around 6,000 to 7,000 silver per energy. So you can see that, you know, guilds do spend a lot of money crafting these mammoths. And then the ballista costs 2,000 energies. So that's pretty much it. That's all you need to know basically about Siphoned Energy. There's one more thing, and I might as well show you since I'm doing this video. You can actually use your Siphoned Energy, and I do not recommend, I don't think anyone would ever recommend doing this. Come in here to the Artifact Foundry, going into the Transmute, and you can transmute your Siphoned Energy into something like, you know, like the Soul or something. I'm not going to go over exactly how much you need, how many Siphoned Energies, but it's stupid. There's no need to do this. It's cheaper, literally it's cheaper to buy these kind of relics and souls and runes from the markets instead of, purchasing all of the Siphoned Energy to transmute it. It's dumb. Don't do that. But that's pretty much it. That's how you overcharge your gear, and that's all you pretty much need to know about Siphoned Energy, where you get it, what are the uses for the Siphoned Energy. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully you learned something. Now you know that, hey, that's how you overcharge your gear. And if you see somebody with overcharged gear, you could actually inspect them, and if they have that little effect, that means that they have 100 extra IP on all of their armor. One quick thing, you can actually go to game settings, go to overcharge, and if you don't want the specific item to be overcharged, when you overcharge, when you press that shift O with the Siphoned Energy, you can actually just toggle it off. So for example, if I only want my shoes to be overcharged when I use that Siphoned Energy, you can just leave it like this, and then none of your main hand or your offhand or your head or chest piece will get overcharged on your shoes. So that's just one quick thing in these settings. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you hit that like button. Comment below any suggestions for upcoming videos. And yeah, guys, I will see you guys later on my next video. Peace.